Really glad you're here. Just a couple of comments, and then we have a couple of tributes we'd like to share with you. Unbelievable year. When you think about what we've all been through this year, starting with the economies worldwide, some up, some down. And then you look at a very fragile supply base. Tony Brown is here, and we went down, we tried to structure ourselves during the worst of times, and then with the lack of credit, we've had to really struggle, as you know, coming back up to deliver all these fantastic vehicles. Then you add on a year full of natural disasters. I think we've seen everything from the locusts and the fact that so Mark said it's not over yet. But also the fact that based on the strength of our product line this year, that we have reaffirmed our guidance that we will profitably grow the corporation for the good of everybody, and we're going to exceed total company operating profit of 8.3 last year, and also exceed the automotive-related cash flow of 4.4. So our dream and our plan of growing the Ford business for the good of everybody is right on track, even despite all of the things that we've all been through. Just a couple other comments. The United States is looking really good. It's a slow recovery. I'm practicing for the Q&A later. You guys all know this. Slow recovery, but we're recovering from a very deep hole, so we're really excited about next year. Europe, we're dealing with it just like we did in the United States. Russia looks fabulous. We just signed a joint venture with Solars. So we're going to triple our capacity in Russia, and within the next year or so, Russia will be the biggest market in all the EU. And of course, you know that Asia Pacific is so important to us. They love the Blue Oval. We're bringing on as much production capacity as we can. Plus, we're going to introduce 50 new vehicles and powertrains over the next few years. So it looks really good for Asia Pacific. Now let's talk about finances. What an incredible thing. Remember when we took out that small home improvement loan of $3.5 million, and Bill and I agreed to mortgage all of our assets, including Blue Oval, and I'm just so proud to be standing here with Bill and tell you that we have now reduced our debt by over $21 billion. We're down to about $12.7 billion. We're on our way to a $10 billion target. We also now have stress tested our long-range plan against scenarios like we have been through, so we have sufficient liquidity, and we were so pleased now to be able to reinstate the dividend and also make a commitment to all our shareholders that we would maintain that dividend through a cycle. So I think that's really good news for all of us associated with Ford and the industry. Now, just a couple things about the product, because you know I like to go through all of them, but what do you guys think? It's okay for you to say that. Joanna, you ready to write that? Not really more. But it really shows you the base of Ford. We have Garrett Cusack here, Jim Farley, and all the team that have been working in this family. But you think about how far we've come. 5 years ago, we had 97 different nameplates. Now we're going to have less than 20. 80% of the volume we're going to be on our common platforms. And look at this lineup now: the Fiesta, the Focus, the Fusion, the Taurus, the Mustang, the Escape, the Edge, the Flex, the new Explorer, up 280%. The Expedition, the Ranger worldwide, the F-Series, the E-Series, and we also announced the Transit, the replaced the E-Series. So that family now, we have the family in place, and what you're going to see from Ford is every year we're going to continuously improve the quality, the fuel efficiency, and the safety, and a really smart design. With our scale now worldwide, we really believe we're going to be able to offer more quality than anybody else. So we're really excited about the technology roadmap. I think you guys went through all the electrification today, and the fact that we have an electrified entire platform. So a petrol, a hybrid, a plug-in hybrid, and all electric, all in the same production line, and matching the production to the real demand. So a tremendous advantage for the consumer. And of course, as Derek always says, it has a wonderful DNA. We want these vehicles to be fabulous to look at, fun to sit in, exciting to drive, and just a real reason to prefer Ford. And I might point out that Ford is the preferred brand in the United States of America. I'm just saying. Now, just a couple of recognitions. I'm so glad that Bill's here too. First recognition is Sue Cischke. Sue, please come forward. Yay, Sue! And you all know what Bill and I and the entire team, what we think of Sue. 35 years. She stayed a little bit longer than she wanted to. She's was going to, the only reason we were able to keep where she puts her feet in the sand in Florida every once in a while. She has absolutely made a tremendous difference on sustainability, on safety. I mean, she's just absolutely world-class contributor. We're so glad for you. We're glad you're happy and healthy, and we wish you the very best going forward. But you still have a couple of minutes. Yes. Okay. We have one more that is retiring tonight. George Clemens. George Pipas. We have Barbara. Come on, Barbara. How are you? See you a lot on email. How are you? Good to see you. And Sarah. Sarah. Hi. How are you? Welcome. And we got Emily. No, we got Emily. Sarah. Where's Sarah's husband? Yeah, right. Okay. It's okay. So, first of all, I'd like to just say, I'd like to say a couple of things about George. George is retiring 35 years with the company. And his first 20 years were in finance. And you know, finance is true. Finance runs the Ford Motor Company. We all know that. So he's a great career, he's the center of all the knowledge. And then he ended up in sales. He took all of his analytical and his analysis to sales. And I don't think there's a journalist in this room that hasn't been touched by George Pipas. Because when we really wanted to know what the sales meant, what the models meant, then you call it George. And George gave you not only the analytical answer, what he meant, he also gave you the perspective on what anybody important. Now, on a personal note, when I first arrived, Bill made a list of people that I should see to make sure I avail myself of their knowledge. And one of the people on the list was George Pipas. And I'll never forget this, as long as I live. And I asked George fundamental questions like, why don't we make cars? And George would look at me like a space cadet. And would rub his chin and explain, our cost structure. We make great cars around the world. We're really focused on SUVs and trucks. And then the more he started explaining, he got to a place in our relationship where he said, Alan, can you really talk about this? And I said, yes. And he said, Alan, we need a complete family of best-in-class vehicles. Revealing it all now, George Pipas. And George's point was that the Ford brand is so strong over the years, and as we gravitate to trucks and SUVs in the United States, that we need to do that to all the vehicle sizes, especially with rising fuel prices. And people are going to make decisions to move to small vehicles. They're going to be cheap and cheerful. $100 from George. And so we need a full family, and every vehicle needs to be best in class and have all the features, no matter whether it's a Fiesta or an F. So he said, what do you think? I said, that's what we're going to do. And I said, what are you going to do? He said, I'm going to retire. I said, you're going to retire after we just adopted your plan? And he said, what do you think? I said, I think you ought to join us on this journey, and we ought to implement your plan. And George did. We had George for the last 5 years, always, and I personally have always been indebted to you invested in Ford, and you invested in me. So we wish you the very, very best going forward. Now, all the journalists wanted to say something. We got it down to 8 minutes. That's not easy with all these dynamite journalists. Yeah, and then, of course, you can talk to me too. Okay, so if we can run the video, and we have it right on the screen, I think. And many of the journalists here.
Analysis at Ford joins us from the company headquarters in Dearborn, Michigan. George, you take us through the month of May. Do you look at this pause as being a one-month blip, or are we looking at a summer where people are going to pull back in terms of their demand for new vehicles?
Well, I think, Phil, for quite some time we've been thinking that the shortages caused by the earthquake in Japan.
So here we are, here in the Lincoln room. This is where all the magic happens. Yeah, this actually used to be called the Mulally And it was also the Jaguar move. And the Aston Martin road, yeah, for a while. So, you know, it's been through a little bit. So, yeah, this is where George talks to us every month.
This is where he yells at us for putting the Volvo comps in month over month, year for year.
Didn't you say that we were supposed to continue doing that?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, yeah, we'll continue doing that, George, so, yeah. And well, maybe we should take a call from the analysts.
Hey George, we're gonna miss you and all those great sound bites you used to give me, especially those that were so good I couldn't use them on the radio, you know? I had to bleep out a few things here and there. But George, you were great, you were fun to work with, and you will be missed.